Let's start off the show with 3 things everyone is talking about in the sports world. So first things first, is this thing on? So during Eli and Peyton Manning's second Monday Night Football simulcast, we got hit with a pretty big bomb where Peyton not so delicately insinuated that the New England Patriots used to bug his locker room and that he and his teammates would have conversations in the shower as to not give anything away. So, Andy, you are our resident Patriots defender.
Yes.
How do you feel about this? Do you think it's true? Any truth to this?
It's going to surprise you, but I don't think there's any truth to this. I think
Surprise.
I think that Peyton was having like a little bit of a joke last night, but it's one of those jokes where there's some seriousness behind it because he's just like, the Patriots just own so much territory behind that gigantic forehead of his. Like they're in there, and he's like, yeah, bugs. Yeah, they bugged our locker room. I was like, no, they didn't, buddy. We all know they didn't. But like, he to this day he knows that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick kept him from so many Super Bowls, and he's just like, if anybody ever brings up anything, he's just quick to be like, "Did you say bugs? You said something about bugs? I'll tell you about bugs. Locker room. I'll tell you about that." There's no proof behind it, but he's just going to say it forever. It's like, hey, Peyton, you're a Hall of Famer. You won a couple of Super Bowls. Like, just, let Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and the Patriots, just let them out underneath that big forehead and just throw them away. It's okay, buddy. Come on with your life.
I have no comments to that. So for thing number 2, Ben Simmons takes his shot, finally. So based on a recent Woj bomb, Ben Simmons is actually like done with the 76ers, and he says that he's not going to be showing up to training camp. The writing's been on the wall with this situation, I feel like, for a while now, but here we are. The first thing that comes to my mind is who's got the most leverage here, because just like it is in the real world, you got to have some sort of leverage when it comes to getting a new job. And I'm not sure if Ben Simmons really has it here, but Andy, how do you see this playing out for Ben?
It's funny that he's taking a shot and that he's likely going to miss it again. I mean, this is just what he does, both on and off the court. Like, this reminds me of that old Jerry Maguire movie from like 1948 or whenever that movie came out. And Jerry Maguire, Tom Cruise is yelling like, "I'm out here," and he grabs his fish and he goes, "Who's with me?" And everyone's like, they forget about him as soon as he walks out the door. And that's what's going to happen. Ben Simmons right now is going, "I'm done with the Sixers." And they're like, "All right, well, what are you going to do now?" And he's like, "I'll go trade me." And they're like, "Nobody wants you for what we would want to get from you." And so he's going to just sit there awkwardly by himself while the NBA season gets started, thinking he's this high price, like everybody wants me. It's like, no, bro, nobody wants you for what you think you're worth, which is $33 million this year. So leverage, none of it sits with Ben Simmons.
For our last thing, the Ryder Cup is here, and for most casual golf fans, the greatest thing that could happen would be a full-on Bryson and Brooks brawl to break out, or at least in my opinion, I think so. But you follow golf religiously, Andy. Could this really happen, or are we overlooking some other big storylines that we should be looking out for this?
Golf is my religion. Golf is my church. I don't want to see any fighting at my church. Not at the Ryder Cup. No, nothing will happen between the two of them. I wish that Steve Stricker, the U.S. captain, would have the guts to put these two men together on Friday morning on the first pairing, alternate shot. Everyone around the first tee, Bryson, Brooks, they come out, they shake, and they're like the NWO in wrestling. They're bad boys, and they're high-fiving their way across the course. But of course, that's just something that lives in my head. It's a dream of mine that's never going to happen, as many of my dreams don't happen. So I think the Ryder Cup is one of my top 3 sporting events of the year. Brooks Bryson will be a storyline to watch, but the Americans are heavily favored, but the Europeans always come into these things and just seem to enjoy the experience more. That helps them be more successful. So I can't wait to see if this new younger American team can take down the Europeans.
Hey, sports fans, if you want to watch more sports seriously, be sure to check out these clips right here. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see all the great content from us here at USA Today Sports.